Welcome back. Now, flower casting. I'm sure most of us have heard of casting the bones. This is exactly the same. Getting a bunch, oh, sorry about the pun, but yes, getting a bunch of flowers and putting them in a box of some sort or into a vase is another way that I do it, and casting the petals to have a look at different patterns. This works really well if you don't want to do the flower scrying, and it's a lovely thing to do if you're reading tarot oracle cards somewhere. So if you're actually set up somewhere at a fair or at a sort of convention or a shop or somewhere like that, this one's a really easy one, so you don't have to carry around bowls of water and get everybody wet. Now what you're going to need is a cloth. There's a couple of different ways that you can do this. Sorry about my silly cough there. You can lay your reading cloth down and you can have a box or you can have a vase. Now I'm going to show you, you can do either. Here I've got some beautiful lavender that I grew this year and it still smells divine. So I grew this, so it's very, very special. And I've actually collected, some of the stems have fallen off, that's okay. But I just keep all my lavender in this box that I use for casting, flower casting. Some have got little stems, some have got bent stems. As I said, the stems fall off. I just put all the stems, I don't throw them out, I put all the bits and pieces in there, everything. And oh, that smells so beautiful. It's just what I need to smell as well. So what I do with whatever sort of box you've got, and you can get these boxes everywhere. It doesn't have to have a pentagram, it can have anything, have flower on there. Have fox on there. I give it a shake. I get the person to give it a shake as well. And then I get them to empty the flowers out. And then I read the flowers. The same way as scrying on water, the same way as tea leaf reading, coffee ground reading, the same sorts of things. Straight away, what do I notice first? When you first do these, it's really good to write it all down because you want your first impressions, you want to think about it for a while, just till you get into the pattern of learning how to do this. Straight away, one's jumped out by itself and three are very close together in a line. Three people heading in this direction, three people looking towards the past. Here's a yin and yang up here, and the yin and yang is above these three people straight away. Are there anything that looks like something to me? Any shapes or anything like that? There's lots of different things here, I can tell you right now. We've got this, looks like a snake over the top of these three people. Oh, let's be careful. You know, we're looking at something from the past with a group that could come back and be sort of some sort of, I was going to say deceit. The word deceit just keeps coming up all the time. So something from the past involving a group of people that, you know, I might be a bit worried about could be coming along. But this is like an effect right into the future, but there's something here that could stop that in its tracks as well. So that's really quite interesting. I could just ramble on, honestly, but you need to have a look at these. As I said, the correspondence charts are fantastic. So you're looking for shapes that remind you of animals, places, letters as well. Are there anything, numbers, things that go together like that? You can use any sort of flower. So these are dried flowers. Okay, lavender. So the other way you can do this if you didn't have a box, boxes are really good, it's just shaking it up and then opening it up like that. Even in your hands, it's a little harder, it's probably better with, you know, small things, but you can do it like that as well. Oh, and then you get to smell that beautiful lavender if you use lavender. I've got, oh, and one stayed in there. See, that's really interesting. One stayed behind. Which one stayed behind? You could use different flowers as well, so you could use the different meanings ascribed to each of the flowers to do that. With fresh flowers, you could use, I'm just going to put this beautiful lavender on my floor with fresh flowers. You could use the box method, you could use the shake out the cloth method, but you can also use this method, which I love. Now, this is one of my favourite things in the whole universe. There's so many favourite things I have, I know. I'm always telling you that. But this is, look at that. I'll show you, because that I bought from a glass blower in San Francisco when I lived over there. I love it. I actually watched him make it. It was beautiful. And I remember his name was Jeff the glass blower, and I love it. And I asked him, could he make it purple with iridescent things in there, and he laughed. And he said, yes, I can, because you look like a San Francisco girl. And of course you want purple. Okay, Okay. So I'm just laughing because he's a very, very cheeky man. I love this so much. And I was thinking, I wonder what happened to Jeff the glassblower in San Francisco. But I do love this. And this is my divination vase. What you can do is go and grab a whole lot of petals. Now these, I've just run outside and I've grabbed all these from my garden just now. Probably don't need that big thing of clover. Oh, look, they're out. Don't you just love geraniums? My punky doesn't like them. I don't know why. Probably don't want all the big stalks in this. You can have some, but they probably won't all come out. So any sort of vase, you pop all your things in there. In they go. Oh, they smell so nice. That's what it should do. And these are, look, these are leaves of some sunflowers. There's some daisies in there. Okay, so what you do, you can put leaves in there too, but I know we're talking about flowers, so give them a shake. And the same thing, just shaking them out on the table. There you go, bang. And then you can read the patterns that came out with those. What's covered, what's not, what does it look like. It's really weird because that makes a big 7. Or you probably can't see it on your side, but to me it's like this big 7. That's what I thought. Don't discount your first thoughts because they will mean something. So you can do that sort of divination, and there's like more in there. So usually I do it a couple of times. Whatever comes out the first time, then I might do it again, get another layer with it, and so on and so on. It's a really, really good fun way to divine, and it's very interesting to see where they come out, what doesn't come out, what layers, and what's pointing at what. And you, as I said, you can use the meanings of the flowers, but you won't have every meaning. So the other thing that you can do is when you start off, if you, these are the flowers that I've got, I can actually say, okay, the clovers are going to be affirmative, yes. My daisies are going to be action that I have to do. All of these, you know, I might put that many of them in there. I might just put those rose petals. That'll mean I need a bit more work happening. My yellow leaves here are going to mean no with my question. So I can do something like that. I can make my own little system of flowers and put them in and do a little reading like that as well. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. Flowers aren't going to say, that's not right. If you sit there and say, it's the same as a tarot position. If you say this position here is yes and this position is no and this is the future and this is the past, the flowers will listen to you. If you say, listen guys, yep, I know what clover means, but in this instant, when you pop out of my jar, I would like you to be the answer no. And daisies, if you pop out of my jar, I'd like you just for now to be the answer yes. So you can do things like this. These are little energetic beans and they'll work for you. Don't you worry. Now the other thing you can do is you can actually make up a little layout. And I've seen some of these done so well on cloths and on paper as well. So you can use different mandalas with different sections, like this is each month of the year, each season, yes, no, future, past, and you can cast your petals like that, and the petals that come out, that's what they can mean. Again, if you don't have the fresh petals, these can be done really, really easily. You can embed them in resin. You can also dry them and make little cards, little chips, almost like little, imagine little poker chips almost, like ruins. And you could make little things like that to stick into a little bowl like that and cast. There's lots of different ways that you could cast flowers. So as I said, you need to work out your own little system to be able to do this. Have lots of fun. I would love to see what you come up with when you're doing your research and when you're practicing these things as well. So please, please share with me and have lots of fun. That's what it's all about. It's about going outside, connecting with nature and reading what is already there and developing something that is truly a connection with you and the natural world, and nothing could be easier than doing that with doing it with flowers and the images of flowers and the connection with them as well. So many blessings, my wildflowers, and go out there and get started with some flower divination. That's a kiss I'm blowing you.